I didn't think that there was any way I could get into med school because you always hear the stories about, oh, you have to have, a perfect score in the MCAT, perfect grades, and I didn't have either one of those. I think confidence was my biggest issue by far. There was a time where I had everything ready to apply, but I wasn't gonna actually do it. I thought there was no way I would get into medical school at all, let alone a UCLA.
The doubt's not always from the outside. It's not always what people put on you. Sometimes it's what you carry inside. So he and I talked about that, about really how to deal with that and how to take that little voice in your head that says that you can't do things and just ignore it.
Before I felt like schools could really even give me a chance to prove myself, I got about 16 rejection letters.
And then at the very last minute, Taylor was admitted off of the wait list to UCLA. And of course his dream was to go to UCLA, so that's where he is now.
You just have to keep your head down, keep it pushing, and you never know where it'll take you. If I would have stopped right there, then I would not be here today.
Taylor was an exceptional athlete through his entire career here. He long jumped 25, 6 or 7, mid 25s, high jumped over 7 feet, triple jumped over 50 feet. Those are all exceptional levels if you do just one of them. But Taylor was actually capable of doing all of those, so he's an exceptional athlete.
Every student athlete knew Taylor. His nickname was T-Hop. That's what he had on his backpack. If I mentioned his name, whether it was a male or female athlete, freshman, senior, whatever sport, they all knew T-Hop. So he just had that just engaging personality.
So my sophomore year at conference championships, my very first long jump of the meet, I don't know, something just didn't feel right in my jump. I was a little over-rotated and I decided to bail out of it. But of course, when I landed, I hyperextended my knee. And turned out that I tore my meniscus on that jump, which led to 2 partial meniscectomies where they take a little bit of cartilage out of my knee, which were done during my 3rd year.
Sometimes these things in your life can be really, really good opportunities. What do you want to do, Taylor? What do you want to do with your life? Well, he started talking to me about, I've developed a really good relationship with the doctors that are working on me, and I'm just kind of really interested in it.
Just the whole process was really amazing to me, and I wanted to be a part of it.
He became so much more a focused student after his injury, when he kind of decided that medicine was where he wanted to be.
With school and track, it was a little bit more of a challenge, especially when it came time to study for things like the MCAT. It was a really stressful time because very similar, I would go to class in the morning, practice in the afternoon, go to the hospital for a little bit after that most days, and then come back and decide whether I'm going to study for school, study for the MCAT, or try to get some sleep.
He did juggle a lot of things, but he did it really, really well.
Everyone else is studying all day, and you kind of get discouraged because you only have a couple hours a day to study. There would be days that all of us were on campus from like 7 a.m. for practice and rehab and everything, and then stay in lab until 10 p.m. at night.
They're competing at the elite level, and they really have 2 full-time jobs, athletes and students.
And he never complained. He never showed up to practice acting tired. He never begged out of any of his captain's duties or his team duties. He was able to handle all of that quite well.
When I did apply, before I got any positive responses in any kind of way, whether it was just like an interview or anything, I must have got about 16 rejection letters just in the first couple weeks. I really didn't think it was possible, but the fact that other people didn't think it was possible really kind of gave me the extra motivation to push through and prove them all wrong.
Taylor's that person that he's just like a go-getter. So like someone will set the bar, and then he always wants to like one-up you, which is great. And I think it's like his athlete in him.
He's so resilient in his character, and I think the resiliency kind of shines through in the way he responded to the adversity of his injury, and kind of made that negative into a positive. That I really do think he's not only the ideal student athlete, I think he's the ideal student. That's why I knew that he would be great, actually, because I know that doctors have a lot to kind of endure, and he did it fantastically.
You know, from then on, everything seemed to fall into place from there. And now I'm in my 3rd year of medical school back here at UCLA.
He has like the great clinical skill and like the intelligence, obviously. He got into UCLA medical school, but he's the easiest person to talk to. He wants to get to know everyone. He's everyone's best friend, and he just like gets on a personal level, and you can't teach that. So I think that's what's gonna make Taylor like a really great doctor. He's like the epitome of what UCLA athletics is. He puts like academics first and then athletics second. And he's just an overall well-rounded person. So I think it goes to show that UCLA is like, we're not just good athletes, like we're all like well-rounded people.
I still wake up every day in just pure joy because it's like, how did I get here? Like I said, I didn't think I would be at any medical school at all, let alone here. So the fact that I get to wake up and go to the hospital, even in the long days, totally worth it.